Hey guys, we are live. Just wanted to chime in real quick. We have Miss Jackie Berman here today. I had the pleasure of meeting Jackie when I flew to Jersey for the New Jersey meetup for the holiday kickoff last year in December. And Jackie, very impressive. I saw she has a community of her own. She's out there in the community streets. She has her own business. She's helping people protect themselves from identity. She's also just a big hearted individual, right? I'm just finding this out. I'm getting to know her more. And so I'm going to introduce you all to Miss Jackie today. We're going to just give her some room to tell us who she is and what she does. And then I'm going to dig into some questions about Jackie's expertise and maybe some of the challenges that she's going through as a woman entrepreneur to help us stay motivated and empowered. Jackie, I'm going to pass it over to you. Let us know who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Jackie Berman. I am a LegalShield and identity theft associate. I've been a member of the service now for like 13 years, and I've been an associate for 8 years. I was going through a change of life, let's put it that way. I was getting divorced and needed, well, before that, I had a business with my ex-husband. So as most women know, I didn't want to have anything to do with them any longer. So I had to reinvent myself. And I'm very passionate about helping people. I've always been passionate about helping people. My background, actually, what I call my BC life, which is before children, was a social worker. So I've always been there, passionate about people.
I am cracking up. So I love that intro because it does give a little insight into Jackie's personality. I had the pleasure of meeting her. Hopefully, you all will too. And thank you for sharing a little bit of the transparency of the life of a woman entrepreneur, especially when it comes to relationships and when it comes to the business itself and just all of the things. Now, I do want to ask you about identity protection with what you do with your company that you're with.
Mhm.
Why that? I mean, you could have picked all the things, right? But I know that you said that you were rushing out of this situation, like you don't want to have nothing to do with this, right? So you had to make a move, but why that move?
I really, I went, actually, I was invited to go on one of their trips that that the associates have earned. And I fell in love with the people in the company. I fell in love with the people, got to meet, the CEO of the company. At that time, he's no longer CEO because he had to leave for health reasons. But I got to meet, though, so many of the people, and I really learned about them and learned about more of the service. And I'm like, why not? This is right up my alley. So let me go out and just protect people like I've always protected them, but in a different way now.
Now, you weren't already using their services, but when you did see that they were a great company culture, that's what really made you feel good about that. Now, how long ago was that? Like, is that recent? Like, how long have you been with them?
I'm with them 8 years.
8 years. Wow.
8 years as an associate, yes. Yeah.
So you love
And
it.
I haven't looked back.
So she really loves it.
I do. Yeah.
Um, I think that speaks volumes too, Jackie, because I feel like a lot of times as women, we do get into places and situations that we don't necessarily love, and we may feel a little caught by that. But it's really good to see that you found, that true love and happiness and joy in your life. So, how does that help other people? Like, how have you seen it change other people's lives since you've been doing it for the last 8 years?
Well, with identity theft, it happens every 2 seconds. So I love hearing the stories from my members as to how we have helped them. Like, I have my college roommate who something happened to her identity. She got actually a letter from the mail from a local bank welcoming her uh, to the bank for opening up an account. And she was like, it wasn't her. Somebody opened it up under her name. And she was like, "Oh, yes, I have the service." And I loved knowing that she didn't have to worry. She had people behind her back to take care of her, and she didn't have the hassle or the headache or the worry that she knew she was getting protected. So I love protecting people, and I love knowing that we have a strong company behind us.
Okay, awesome. I hope that I'm heard loud and clear, y'all, because my phone acts up sometimes. Jackie, I love the fact that you kind of zoned into something that I feel like a lot of times I don't hear a lot of is like the core value of why you do what you do. Like you want to protect people and you want to protect the right people the right way. So I love that you're able to do that. And I also, I said before we got in this interview, y'all, I said, Jackie, seem like you have a really, really big heart. So Jackie is actually going to be doing a workshop for us this weekend. If you guys have not signed up for that workshop, you have to sign up for it now because your identity is not just tied into you, it's also tied into your business because everything from you stems out. So your business is a reflection of that. I believe that, I've heard so many different stories about, how people have gotten through, divorces and traffic violations and all kinds of sorts of things. And just simple protective measures through, what you do, Jackie. Now, I'll
Oop, I just lost you.
Okay, y'all, listen. I know we're. Hold on one second. One second, y'all. So I hope you can hear me loud and clear now. I'm sorry
Now I
about that.
can.
So my phone, y'all. Okay, thank you. My phone started having like this weird monster inside of it. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna switch it out and do whatever. But I was trying to say that Jackie, I was telling her that she really does seem like she has a big heart. A lot of us have big hearts in entrepreneurship. I mean, I don't think we would do a lot of things we do if we didn't, right? And we didn't love doing stuff for other people. Other than sometimes when we're, people are doing it just to make money. We're not talking about that. But you in entrepreneurship, what kind of challenges do you feel like that has led to for you since you started working kind of independently? Because it may not necessarily be your full business, but you are working independently.
Yes.
And that means that you have to manage yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to make your own money. You have to generate leads. And so, I'm wondering if there are any challenges that comes with that, similar to, any other entrepreneur.
One of the biggest challenges I have, believe it or not, at this point is ghosting. Where you'll call somebody, you'll meet somebody, you'll call them up, um, and they don't respond. Uh, and that's a really big pet peeve of mine because I would rather have somebody return my call and say, "Jackie, I'm not interested," than to ghost me whatsoever. Because to me, that shows somebody's professionalism. By ghosting, I'm never going to give you a referral if you don't have the courtesy to call me back because you don't know what I'm calling for. So that's one of my big pet peeves, and one of my big challenges. And also just the challenge of people don't realize sometimes the help that they do need. Everybody thinks they could do everything on their own, but no man is an island or no woman is an island. And we really do need to help each other and lift each other up. Because you might even be having a tough day and you've got your womanhood from W.I.N to help you along with that.
So I heard everything you said, Jackie. I'm
Okay.
trying to switch over here, so give me a
Yeah.
second because y'all know the device is device. So, you know, I I heard part of what you said, and I was trying to get back on stage while you were speaking. But what I want to also dig into too, Jackie, because this is part of people learning from you before they even get into your workshop and
Mhm.
actually getting all that pertinent information about how to protect themselves. Because they can learn a lot of this stuff from anywhere. Like they can go to UT University, they can go in a lot of different places, right? But the truth is that they're learning from you and your experiences too. Like
Yes.
your unique approach to life, how you handle things, challenges you've overcome, things that you will overcome in the future, and how you're actually learning your lessons now to prepare for that. Was there any big challenge that you feel like you really learned from while you were going through all of this in your business, in your entrepreneurship?
I mean, I think some of the challenges is one thing is you should never think of somebody as competition, um, because we all work together and everybody had, you might just feel more comfortable with somebody else doing the exact same thing than with you. So I always have the attitude, even with my team, I'm like, I'm there to help you. I don't care if you're on my team or not on my team. We women, especially a woman, we're all nurturing and
Yes.
we all really want to help each other. And it's not just about us, it's about helping everybody. Um, so that's one of the big challenges is to realize that, hey, we're all there doing the same thing, just wanting to help each other, lift each other up, and be there for each other. And it doesn't have to be anything at the end result for us. It's just about everybody else helping people. And I truly believe karma comes back to you. You put out good karma and it will come back to you.
I definitely feel that, and I felt that too when I came around you and how you were, talking about your relationships, talking about the community that you're involved in, the communities that you're involved in, the connections you've made, and so I do applaud you for that because sometimes we are, the big dog in the room. And the connections that are being made are because of you, and so having that, that round of applause, y'all, I just want to go ahead and give Jackie that because it's not easy at the top, right? I also will say when it comes down to community, right? And when you talk about helping other people, community cannot be built without you actually lending out hands and supporting people where they are and building those relationships so that they can be empowered to do the same thing, right? And it's like a back and forth type energy and a notion that people understand along the way. Did you ever feel like, uh, you know, well, let me put it like this. Um, do you feel like there was anyone in your life that exemplified that that ideal um like feel of community for you? Like, was there a leader that really impressed you that made you say, I want to be like that? Or not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of modeled or looked at that person as a role model when it came down to helping people.
You know what? I think a lot of times it goes back to how you were brought up. Um, because I was brought up by two great parents and they were involved in the community. They might not have been out there, my dad did have his own business and I saw how he was involved with everything. And my mother also. I don't believe in being in any kind of like association, let's say, be it a chamber, be it WIN or any association with this other people, and don't be just sitting back there. Get involved with it because that's where you get the most out of everything, um, by being involved. Like I'm in 2 different chambers. Both of those chambers last year I won awards from because of my involvement. One of them was Businesswoman of the Year, and the other was I was the the rah rah of the chamber, because you want to get involved. And I also, one thing that I love doing, and I love connecting people. I love connecting people, and if I know one business, I I like being like a business matchmaker, where I hear of one business, I'll go out and introduce them to another business just because I think that they would be able to work together or should know each other, because you never know how that will grow. And people are like, Jackie, you do that all the time. And I don't see you asking for it in return. I said, that's because I don't ask for it. It comes in a different way. And it comes in my knowing that they succeeded. It makes me feel good just knowing that a connection I made with somebody, they've has worked out.
Really, really powerful. So listen, when you were speaking, I'm just like, I'm taking it all in because I value that level of energy of giving, right? Like we have this notion like you give and it comes back to you, but to actually take action in that area and to see that I saw you with your book of business cards that it was full. You had cards from people all over that have come to your networking events. Okay. So before you guys get to this workshop with Jackie this weekend, I want you to really dig into who she is. Okay. Because I don't, we had a series a couple years back where we did women behind the brand. Then we talked a little bit about the background like we're doing now with Jackie, and we found out and discovered that yeah, like it does all come from the youth. It comes from who you are from the beginning. And you saw, sometimes we're not always taught, but we catch things, right? So you saw the examples of business with your parents, and you saw that community service with your parents, but you took it up a notch. And
Mhm.
you now you're just like teaching other people in very um effortless ways to just say, because Sarah came to me, and I'll say this about Jackie because all Sarah, our programs manager and New Jersey leader. And Sarah goes, oh my God, Allegra, I have a great idea. It came from this lady, Jackie, who came to our networking event. She has this business card book. And da-da-da. I hope I'm not giving away all the juice, Jackie.
Not at all.
Okay. Because I'm like, what? So, so when I got to Jersey, I'm in her book, y'all. Like, I'm like literally going through the book, like, wait a minute. Okay, let me scan that. Let me scan that. Cause I like my digital cards. So, Jackie, thank you for, not just being someone who is, great at doing what you do in your business, right? Well, in your business sense, right? But being able to kind of encompass the business mindset overall, because you are generating leads for people every single day from what I see. And people are being able to grow under your leadership, no matter how they touch you. Like whether it's you knowing them and you're like, I think you should be connected with this person. So that's the value of Jackie. So I do want to ask you though, Jackie, where do you see yourself going in the future? Like, what are some of your goals?
Business wise or personally?
Anything, whatever.
you know, Business wise, I really love to mentor the people who are on my team. And even if they're not on my team, I still love to mentor, especially young entrepreneurs. I actually have even given classes on networking, just to teach people how to network correctly and what they should do, and about follow up. And I just really want to see uh, people succeeding with that and taking my experience and my knowledge and maybe going further with it. Because now there's different ways of networking. because believe me, I've been doing this for over 30 years. So at that time, there were no Zooms, there was no digital, there was no nothing. So things do change. So the younger people can teach me at least some of the newer marketing methods. But I love just helping people market themselves and meeting people and expanding their businesses and everything that they do. And I tell people, don't just tie yourself into one little area, expand yourself. I could tell you my funniest story ever of um, introducing two people. um, I had one person call me up, and he actually has a TV show about reptiles. He had to rehome his alligators. And I said, guess what? I know somebody who has an alligator. So he lived in New York, she lived in Pennsylvania. I connected the two of them. So who would ever think that I would know two people with alligators? So you never know. I say, ask and tell people what you're looking for, and you don't know who somebody knows. So just don't be open mind, be open minded, I should say, and just put everything out there because you don't know how somebody could help you.
Alligators, y'all listen. Jackie, you are really a connector because it isn't just about business. We have lots of, people with experience, not just from, general knowledge and information, right? That's just like, who would have thunk? And I also
Right.
think that's why we have to actually ask, like if they wouldn't have asked about an alligator, like they wouldn't have said something. And so it's about so many of those things, the connection piece. Who are you connected to? Are they knowledgeable enough? Do they have good resources? Jackie, you're like 35 years in. Is that what you said? All the
I think,
resources so
yeah, I
that
started my own
it's
business. Yeah. The first business
yeah.
I ever started was in 1989. And
Wow.
and that was, believe it or not, it was a singles group.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. So, okay, so here's what I love too, because I used to love going to those singles meetups. I used to do that when I was in college, when I was young, dating out there. And I think with that experience, and I love how you said you want to work with the youth, right? Like you want to work with people who are
Mhm.
bringing more value to your expertise because there's new knowledge out there. And listen, we don't want to keep up with all the stuff. So they, they can bring that stuff. But I love how, we are talking about the networking, the resourcing, because I think that's what makes you really good at what you do too, with LegalShield, with any business you have. Um, I got a little bit of a tip here when I was at the New Jersey meetup about your relationship building and how good you are at it. And some people may feel like, well, I'm not really that personable, or I don't really like people like that. What would you say, like, because this is your key area, what kind of advice would you give them?
You know, I say, now we have Facebook. I say stay connected with people. Um, Last night I had dinner with somebody I haven't seen in 10 years. And she says to me, her daughter, who I had given her daughter an award like 20 years ago for being a young entrepreneur. And I had taken her daughter a little bit under my wing. And her daughter said to her, "Oh, yeah, Mom, you're going to see Jackie? I didn't know you're still in contact with her." I'm like, don't ever, ever close the doors on any relationship because you never know how somebody could help you or you could help them in the future. So always keep everything open. I try in the back of my mind, I try to keep names going, and connecting. I might not remember sometimes your name, but I usually remember exactly where I met you. And I say, don't don't say no to any relationship. Don't ever say no. Well, just snub your, oh, they can never help me. You don't know how somebody can help you in the future.
It's very true. I definitely have burned some bridges, y'all. Like I've told y'all in a couple of lives before, I had to apologize to Mr. Drake because Mr. Eddie Drake was one of my mentors back in the day, and he was a great connection. Like one of those people you do not want to lose. But um but I had to give myself grace because I didn't know how important it was to really foster that relationship. So now that we're having these conversations, I think that's the thought process. Like, guys, let's think about it. Like, what kind of relationships do you need to have, and like who can connect you to those people, and are those relationships valuable enough to get you where you really need to go? Right. Jackie, I also want to ask this too, because we have a couple of projects. My allergies bother me, y'all.
Uh,
So we have a couple of projects. Okay. So the Healthy Horizons project is one of the projects we have in the WIN community, and it actually supports like a lot of what we do. We partnered with American Heart Association last year. And hey, Sarah say go, Jackie.
hey, Sarah.
We partnered with the American Heart Association last year. We have done some podcasts and interviews on cancer awareness, breast cancer
Mhm.
awareness. We've talked about just a bunch of different health avenues. And we also have another campaign that we haven't launched yet, and it's for breast cancer awareness. I do want to ask you, though, because you mentioned something to me about some of those challenges, right? When you're
Yeah.
dealing with health, and, can you share some experiences?
Yeah. I mean, I personally even went through breast cancer. I went through breast cancer now 6 years ago. And some people are quiet about it. Uh, but I have a mouth, and, and I told everybody because my attitude is okay. I went yearly for my mammos. That's where mine was found. I wanted everybody to know, hey, women, go and have your mammos done because you don't know. Now, I have a very good friend, which I was telling you about, that is going through it right now. She didn't go for her mammos every year. She won't tell me how long ago it's been since she had her mammo. And the end result is she does have breast cancer. But instead of saying I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to sit there and support her. I took her to my surgeon. She's going to my surgeon. She's going to my oncologist. Um, and you've got to be there. And just because I had breast cancer, I still, though, was out there working. I, you know, I'm a, s- At this point, I'm single. I have to work, you know. But I was still out there and people didn't even know what I was going through. But then I had my other network of women who actually helped me by doing a food chain, a meal chain for me. So there's other ways that people can come out and support you and help you when you're going through that. And sometimes you never know what somebody is going through. So you have to be understanding to other people because you don't know what somebody else is going through at that point, be it health, be it person, financial or whatever it is. Just be supportive of everybody and not judgmental.
I totally agree. I've actually had to work on that myself in the past. Now, probably still have to work on in the future. That's part of the emotional intelligence part, right? Like how you feel about things and how you're actually processing them within yourself. It comes out for other people. But, that's just how we are as human beings. But I do think we have to be very cautious because you're right. People are all going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going through something. I can't get mad at everybody else because I'm going through something. So I love how I love your perspective on life. I love how you are guiding people through this as well, because you took your friend to your own doctors and you gave her the support. Sometimes, like I talked to my mother about this yesterday. I said sometimes some people need someone to just take them and just help them do it.
Hmm.
Right? Like it's not always about telling someone what to do. And so some leaders are just equipped like you to do that for people. I ain't that one. I mean, I can't force nobody to do. I'm gonna leave you where you at. But Jackie, I love your perspective and your goals to mentor people so that they can learn from all of your expertise. I think it's amazing. So this is what we're gonna do, y'all. I want y'all to make sure you register for this weekend's workshop so you can learn some more from Miss Jackie. I want you to learn from her 35 years of networking expertise and resourcing and getting people to meet up with alligators from across the world. They don't even know each other, but she has the tools and resources to connect them. You never know who knows who. Also, you're going to learn how to identify theft, and I want you to talk about that a little bit more, Jackie. Like, what is that workshop going to be about for people who attend this weekend? What are they going to learn?
Okay, when people think of identity theft, most people think of identity theft as only financial. That somebody's went into and stole and got your money from your bank accounts or opened up a bank account or something like that. That's a small portion of identity theft. I want people to open up their mind and really think about everything else that it encompasses, which is also criminal, um, medical identity theft, child identity theft, elder identity theft. There's just so many different ways of identity theft that I really want to just instruct people and have people really become aware of their surroundings more as to what's going on. Sarah's funny. I'm just reading what
You
what,
said
what
your
Sarah.
Jersey's networking queen. Sarah don't listen. If Sarah says it, it's law. Okay.
And
Uh,
Sarah's another example. Sarah and I lost contact for a number of years, and we've reconnected since. And the thing is, I have my own networking group. She has her own networking group, but it's supporting each other. She comes to my events, I go to her events. So it's not just me, me, me. It's how can I help you?
I want to share something that Sarah may or may not have told you, Jackie. But when we started the W.I.N community, we were all looking for individuals who were out there networking like we wanted to. We were like, where are all the networking events? And I remember when Sarah came in the meeting and said, I'll go to these events. The organizer, her name is Jackie. And I'm like, okay, interesting, no problem. I'm thinking this is just normal because in Atlanta we network and there's so many things to do, so many places to network. We never have a lack, right? But with New Jersey, she said that for you guys, you basically were running the show. She said, he has it in a bag. She said, I go to her events and I get results. She said I get results. She said I like the way she works. She's intentional, right? So the value that you offer in what you do, it's not really about just kind of like getting out there and talking to people, right? It's really how you care about people and the intentionality behind it. That's what I heard from Sarah. And so I was always in the back of my ear, it was always ringing Jackie, Jackie, Jackie. So listen, y'all, when you think about it, when we talk about, your name is being heard in rooms that you're not in yet, I didn't know Jackie was. Honestly, it wasn't even a thing at the time. But leading up to this point, now we can kind of see the whole journey, the fruition of it all, how that first connection and Jackie showing up and telling people, I'm going to give you an opportunity to connect. I'm going to give you an opportunity to network because I have the resources. And actually seeing that start with that spark and turn into this big old flame right now. Like you guys get to actually see Jackie show up in all the way from New Jersey. How would I have known her? Like I would have never met Jackie. So right, it's like we would have never met. And there's a lot of other ladies out there. I just watched, another community to community collaboration partner, Tara, with her community Hager You Can Club. I don't know if she's still, doing a lot with it, but I know that she's showing up. And I think there was like the another community she was doing it with. Um, we're all great at what we do. This is what I'm getting from you, Jackie. We're all very good at what we do. And if we like actually focus on what we need to do and start connecting the pieces together, we are going to build community as a whole. We're all going to benefit. And I also want to say this too, because the workshop, I know you're going to teach us more than just about stealing my money, because I know I can call my bank and be like, hey, that wasn't me.
Right.
But can you just elaborate a little bit more on some of the examples of other ways people try to dig into identity, and even like, even if you can pinpoint how that affects someone who's a business owner, because we all are,
Okay. I have somebody I know, her during COVID, somebody went out and rented a car in her husband's name. They didn't return the car. So the police came knocking at their door, and they were going to arrest him for car theft. Um, and it's because somebody took his driver's license, changed the picture on the driver's license, but still left the name and address. So he would have been arrested. That was a criminal act that was being done in his name. So you don't know, or I'm just really afraid of even your passports. People don't realize even when they go on vacation, a lot of people are relaxed to what they do with their paperwork while they're away. And that is when sometimes somebody will come and steal it without you even knowing. You might get a call from supposedly let's say the desk, saying, "Hey, you know what? We got your somehow we transposed your credit card wrong. Can you please give it to us again?" Or how many times I've gotten, even I get it almost daily, where I will get an email from somebody saying, "Hey, PayPal said $499 is what you just spent on something. Wasn't me." But they want you to click on it and respond. I've had somebody else who was actually, she was um, buying a toy for her son online, and somebody asked them for her social security number. Smart woman, owned her own business, very successful, and because she wasn't thinking about it, she gave her social security number. So you don't know when something will happen. And I tell people, don't give any information. I had somebody couple of weeks ago call me because they had gotten a call from their supposedly bank that their bank account was hacked. And they said, can you please give us your numbers, to confirm and everything. Because they said it was her bank, she gave them everything. I said, no, 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 no. They have your information. Have them repeat it to you. Or better yet, call the bank and see whether or not it was them calling. She did end up calling the bank, and it was not them that called. So I just want people to be aware that nowadays, people are looking for the easy way to get your information and use it against you. It could even happen that how many times on Facebook you have, being that I'm single, I got yesterday another friend request from somebody. They're always widowed, and they're always doctors or generals or something that I get all the time. And I'm like, no, you know, I want people to just be more aware of their surroundings before they give out any information, and some information as to what they should do to protect themselves.
I'm kind of laughing a little bit because, like, I just got a email, no, a text message. Was it an email? I can't remember now. It's so many messages now, y'all.
Yeah.
Like from the IRS or
Mhm.
from, like, some cash company. And what I'm finding is that they know that we're in an overwhelm. Like, they know that we don't even have time to, like, have our own regular day. So when we have to look through those type of things that we see IRS and all these important things, we don't really process it well all the time. And so sometimes, especially if it's elderly, they're like, okay, I'll go with it. That's the IRS. I'll give you my information.
Mhm.
And what you're saying is so true. So even as we get into this new digital world of speed, I'm like, it's even more important to protect our identity. I'll give y'all a really good example. So, and it's not odd, but it was just one of those things where, um, it just, and I guess this is normal, but it made me paying more attention. So I went to my bank, who knows me. I've been with my bank for like the last 20 something years. Y'all listen, very loyal there. Okay. And never had to do a lot, but over time in the pandemic, things became a little questionable. So I saw them increase security measures, and I lost my passport there. So to your point, Jackie, I was there with my passport, right? And they locked it in the vault. And so I go, okay, great. I'll come back and get my passport, right? So I go back and get my passport, and my banker, who knows me very, very well, who has worked with me, who has looked at my account, have my ID, everything, he's like, okay, no problem. Let me get your driver's license, please. And I'm like, huh? You know me? And he's like, yeah, it's something we still have to do as protocol, right? Because they know that there is hacking happening. They
Mhm.
know there is fraudulent IDs going around all the time, right? So, and that's exactly what they said. So, to your point, Jackie, even the banks are cracking down, right? So, we have to be very cautious because they weren't like protecting me; they were protecting themselves.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, like, here, um, I get very worried also for people with the medical identity. A couple of years ago, one of the a nearby town, I read that the doctor's has a storage unit, and he keeps his medical records in there. And somebody went and broke into that medical records. They weren't stealing anything but people's information. You know, what would happen if now somebody has your information for your medical cards and your insurance, and and your blood type is being changed because now everything's computerized. Your blood type, wherever you go, will come up, and it's changed. An emergency comes up, and guess what? They give you the wrong blood type. So everything
That
is,
happens? That's
yes.
so weird.
Oh yeah, it's happened. I've heard of somebody actually dying from it because they gave them the wrong blood type. Uh, or a medical procedure that you have to have done is now denied because they say it was done already. Uh, so people don't realize, that so many different ways there's more identity theft than people realize. It's not just money. It's people want to be you and take over your life. And it's really difficult to correct that, except if you have services like ours. Otherwise, it really takes hundreds of hours to correct something.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you breaking that down. And I know you're going to break it down some more this
Yes.
weekend. I'm really excited to learn from you. I will be there. I will definitely make sure that I continue inviting all of my people, because the truth is that, you don't know what you don't know. And I know a lot of times we spend a lot of time guessing and hoping and DIYing. But, this is why we do these live streams and we talk about, why it's so important, and what are the things behind it that we need to know.
Mm.
So I'm just going to speak from here just right now. It's always weird that my sound goes out when I get a phone call, and I just put it on silent. So, Jackie, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So basically, as I was just saying that there are some of these things that we just have to prepare for. 2025 is a year of no excuses for me and my crew. We have already made that very, very clear. So if you are not protected, if you don't understand what identity protection is, if you have, had it happen in the past and you didn't do anything about it, right? If you're new to this digital age and you don't know what to look out for, because like I told you, my bank told me I had to answer to them, like when it came to my own ID. So, you do want to protect yourself, and you don't want to rely on, the bottom to drop out for you to say, oh, now I need a lawyer, or I need help, or I need support. I've heard stories of people that have gone through, different types of situations. And yes, a lot of it does have to do with money. Like if you're going through a divorce, or if you have like, some type of issue legally, with a citation or whatever. I've heard people be with the ability to fight it because they have the resource. And that's what LegalShield is. It's a resource. And Jackie is here to also be a resource for us. So it's more than just the actual product itself. Jackie is making us feel so protected and guided to be a resource for us. So you never know what you're going to get when you come to this workshop. Anything that you want to leave with us, Jackie, because I'm going to put the link here for everyone to join us at the workshop. But anything you want to leave with us, word of advice, words of wisdom.
Don't believe every phone call that you get. That you didn't win the lottery. Somebody from the prince from Nigeria is not leaving you money. And you just please educate yourself on and keep your information, not just your bank information, but all of your personal information private. Don't let other people know, and don't be gullible and just click on everything on your emails, because you never know. Make sure it's really from the person that you know it's coming from. And hopefully you'll be on Saturday and you'll hear a lot more of my tips. So thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Jackie. Listen, I tried to sneak up on us. So I appreciate you so much today. And y'all, listen, Jackie said it. Make sure that you guys join us with the workshop here. If you look in the chat, you all, you're not here on the backstage with us, but you are here live. I'm going to replay this for you all the way up until we get to the end of the week. And also, if you're in the W.I.N community, Sarah, my leaders, all of our members, I want you to support Jackie. Jackie has been a member and been in the W.I.N community for a while now, a sponsor at our events. She has been a huge connector already, just with, in general, our W.I.N community in New Jersey. So I want you all to just really, really dive deep into what she's going to show us, because she's now giving us more of her time and expertise. Thank you so much, Jackie. We will see y'all in the next live stream. Y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Bye. Stay connected to W.I.N.
Thank you. Take care.